Wasabi dudes, and welcome to Sensei Rane! Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, even share down below. Interested in becoming a stronger part of the community? Please check out the links in the description. Alright students, class is in session! Wasabi dudes, and welcome to a new show here on Sensei Rane called Sensei Rane Extra Credit. Basically, it's going to be a series of edited videos where I just give my opinions on stuff. That way you get to know me that much better. So, welcome to Sensei Rane Extra Credit, our very first episode. There are games that each one of us have never played, that you probably would have really enjoyed, or that are so good they might be considered essential to be a real gamer. This is certainly true of me. Hell, I never even played a Zelda game until I was 29 and we did a stream series of Ocarina of Time on the channel. There are dozens, hundreds of games that I've wanted to jump into, or games that have become cultural touchstones and titans of certain genres that I have just never been able to play for one reason or another. So here we are in this video where today we will explore my top 10 games I've never played before, but probably should. Comment down below if you'd like to see anything on this list become a real stream series on the show. I really do read those comments, and it helps us out. Number 10, Metroidvania Games. Yeah, that's right. An entire genre of games just right off the bat. Is this cheating? Probably, but the fact is, I really have never played any games in this one's alley. No Metroid, no Castlevania, no Hollow Knight, though I've watched some streams of that. Given the popularity of these respective series and the fact that the genre continues on with dozens of good indie games every year, more than earns the genre a place on this list. Most of the games in this genre, I just didn't have the console to play them on. But nowadays with emulators and even some just coming out on PC, that isn't so much an issue anymore. We'll have to check some out on the channel sometime. Number 9, Tales series games. Whenever I look at a list of the best JRPGs for a given year, or even of all time, one of the series that always seems to be at the top or near the top is an entry from the Tales games. I've had several friends recommend Tales of Symphonia, or Tales of Xillia, or Exia, or whatever, however you say it. Tales of Berseria. If it's a tale, I've heard it recommended to me. They look great. And if this many people who I know and trust have talked to me about this series, it's probably something I should be playing. Number 8, Metal Gear Solid. Sneaking in here, we've got Hideo Kojima's baby. Until, Konami lost their freaking minds and this bullshit happened. Ugh, gross. But for real, actually good stealth mechanics, big story, big action, big cardboard boxes. From the outside looking in, I just know I'm missing out on something here. I never had the console to play this series growing up until they started putting them out on Xbox. So yeah, I just totally missed out here. But it's something I'd love to dive into on the channel one day. Number 7, Kerbal Space Program. If you know anything about me, you know that I love science. I especially love physics and astronomy. So why haven't I played Kerbal Space Program? The game where you build rockets, launch missions, and run a space program. It just kind of flew under my radar until recently, and I've been watching videos on it ever since. But I think I might just wait for number 2, and I think you'll see it on the channel when that comes out. Number 6, Paradox Interactive Grand Strategy Games. Something else you might know about me is I love strategy games and history. I love playing games like Civilization, Age of Empires, and Warcraft. It's so strange to me that I've never picked up a game from Paradox Interactive. I'm talking about games like Europa Universale, Hearts of Iron, Crusader Kings, Stellaris. Not only do these feature well-researched historical scenarios, except for, you know, Stellaris, but also strange, bizarre, and interesting theoretical and proposed alternate versions of nations and entire regions and empires that never were. I think the next one that comes out, we're gonna jump in and play it on the channel for a bit. Any game that lets me conquer the world, I'm there, man. I'm ready. Number 5, Starcraft II. I played hundreds upon hundreds of hours of the original Starcraft. It is one of those foundational games that really got me into strategy games in the first place. And I loved building massive fleets of destruction with the Protoss. I love the story, the setting, the music, the cool aliens. There's so much awesome here. So why in the world did I not pick up StarCraft II? Well, I didn't have a great computer when it came out and had no money at all. So I just didn't have a system that could run it for a really long time. But then when I finally got a better computer, I just never got around to picking it up. And looking back now, I really wish that I had already. One day though, I'm gonna fix that and I'm gonna see what I've been missing. Number 4. Final Fantasy, one of the paragons of JRPG history. If I had the system to play these games back in the day, there is no doubt I would have played them, but I never did. Nowadays, most of the games are available on PC, a few are even on Xbox. I have a copy of old school Final Fantasy VII along with a couple others to play on the channel one day. That's a PC version. It just hasn't happened yet. Unfortunately for me, there are several big moments that have long been spoiled, especially one big one in Final Fantasy VII that is more than a little famous. You probably know what I'm talking about, even if you've never played the game before. But it doesn't make me want to play the games any less. The interest is there, we just need to play it on the channel one day. Number 3, NieR. I've watched a couple playthroughs of the original NieR game, but I've never played it myself. The original game just flew well under my radar when it came out, and it wasn't until Automata was announced that I started to take notice of the series, and man do I so want in. The insane story, the art style, it's so me. And I'm more than a little mad that I missed it when it came out. But now that Automata came out on Xbox, it was a PlayStation exclusive when it came out, I could play through the games. I don't know, I just haven't gotten a chance to get started yet. I especially love the absurd origin for the story. Basically, the setup for the NieR series is a weird kind of footnote in the last ending for Drakengard that was supposed to be a joke ending. It was not an ending that was supposed to be taken seriously. It was supposed to be a joke. Think about if you had taken the dog ending from Silent Hill 2 and that was the basis for Silent Hill 3. Or they made a spin-off game from Silent Hill that was based on the dog ending. Yeah, that's the level of crazy I'm talking about, and that's the kind of crazy I can get on board with. Maybe it's something we'll play on the channel one day. It's a really long game, so it might be something that we have to hold off on until I can maybe do this full time. Number 2, Persona 5. We played Persona 4 on the channel in large part thanks to a very energetic suggestion from That Bald Gamer. And I have to say, I am really happy that he did suggest it. Persona 4 was a ton of fun, and I'd love to play more of the series. In fact, we plan to revisit a one-time, one-off 2-hour stream that I did for Persona 3 sometime in the future, but these two games stand under a massive shadow in the form of Persona 5, one of the most highly regarded games, period, of the current generation. Persona 5, from all indications, is the perfection of the Persona formula. The art direction, the story, the gameplay, the character development. It checks all of my boxes for what would be a game I would thoroughly enjoy to the max. I was hoping when Persona 5 Royal was coming out that it might also release on Xbox or PC, even PlayStation Now. It just hasn't happened yet, if ever. So if I ever want to play it, I'll have to wait for a really good emulator or pick up PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 when that comes out and play it with backwards compatibility if they even have it available for that. But I really want to get into it, so I'm hoping something happens. Before we get to our number one spot, I have one very special honorable mention. Raid Shadow! Just kidding, that's not happening. Number one, Mario. Here comes the big one. I've never played a Mario game. Ever. Okay, alright. I played 30 minutes of Yoshi's Island on the GBA and like 2 seconds of random Mario games at the store when they had the demos and stuff. But those don't really count. When I tell people this, it's like saying you've never had a Coca-Cola or seen a movie or like breathed air. And the first question I always get is, how? Well, aside from having the Game Boys, DS, and 3DS, much like the rest of the entries on this list, I just didn't have the console to play it. And with my handhelds, I really only cared about playing Pokemon and a couple other JRPGs like Golden Sun. So here we are. I've never played a game from one of the oldest game franchises out there and the highest grossing game franchise in history. What I can say is I would love to play one. Obviously, it's a series worth at least playing, so maybe one day we'll have Mario on the channel. So there you go, guys. That is my top 10 games that I've never played before, but probably should. What did you think about the list? Is there something you would like to see us play on the channel in the future? Is there something I should just go play on my own? You tell me, man. I would love to hear your feedback. And I would absolutely love to hear your reaction to some of these. I'm sure some of these games are rather shocking. So that's all for today with Sensei Rane Extra Credit. And stay tuned for July's episode, my top 10 anime of all time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, even share down below. If you'd like to get more involved in the community, check out the links in the description. Thank you so much for coming today, and I'll see you in the next class.